Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing our pranayama. So pranayama is breath work basically. And the prana means life, so it's life force. So the breath within us is that life force. You know that when you breathe, it really does help, right? That old wives' tale of just breathe if you're in a stressful situation. It actually calms you down. It's scientifically proven to calm you down, to help that nervous system from stopping going into that fight or flight mode and allowing the cortisol levels to reduce, not get heightened, and again not going into that circle of fight or flight. Allowing you to look at the situation in a much calmer way and allowing you to stay present and grounded as well, not being so reactive. So we like to practice this a lot with our yoga practice. It's a really nice practice alongside, and it's part of the 8 limbs of yoga. So if you practice with me, you'll hear me say all the time that yoga isn't just about the physical practice. There's other limbs of yoga, pranayama being one of them. So we'll be doing our deep yogic breathing today. It's a 3-part breathing technique. I'd recommend you lie down because you're going to feel nice and calm, but absolutely you can sit up on a chair, sit on your block, whatever's comfortable for you. Okay, so come to your comfortable seated position or lying down. Close down the eyes wherever you are. Hands so that they can receive energy, so palms facing up. Whether that's beside you on the floor or on your thighs. Focusing on your breathing just as your normal natural rhythm. You could even put your hand on your chest and one hand on your belly so you can really feel how your stomach moves, filling up, rising on the inhale and falling on the exhale. Consciously use your exhales to feel calmer, to feel more grounded and settling in to our time together. With our deep yogic breathing, we'll be doing equal inhales and exhales through our nose and out through our nose. Continuously breathing in for a count of 4. Continuously breathing out for a count of 4. Absolutely, if you need to dial down the count, go down to a 3. And if it's super easy, by all means go up to counts of 5. I'll be counting you. And what you need to focus on is filling up through the stomach. So all the air going down to the stomach rising. And then filling up through the back and sides of the ribs. So you'll physically be able to feel those sides of the ribs growing towards the arms. And the back of the ribs pushing down into the mat or to the back of the chair. And finally that breath fills all the way up to the collarbone. And then we exhale in reverse, so air from the collarbone first, then the back and sides of the ribs, and then all of the air from the stomach. And repeat. You may feel at the start that your airway feels a little bit sticky. Just stay with it. You can come out of it, come back into your natural rhythm, and then come back into it whenever you're ready. So we'll start. Inhale, 1, belly. 2, back and sides of the ribs. 3, moving up to the collarbone. 4, collarbone. Exhale, 1, air from the collarbone. 2, back and sides of the ribs. 3, working towards the belly. 4, all of the air from the belly. And again, inhale, 1, fill up the belly. 2, back of the ribs. 3, sides of the ribs. 4, chest and collarbone rise. Exhale, 1, collarbone, chest falls. 2, sides of the ribs. 3, back of the ribs moving down to the belly. 4, all of the air from your belly. Inhale, 1, belly. 2, back of the ribs. 3, sides of the ribs. 4, chest and all the way up to your collarbone. Exhale, 1, collarbone. 2, sides of the ribs, chest falling. 3, back of the ribs. 4, all of the air from your belly. Continue in your own count, whether you feel ready to increase it or you want to dial it down. Solely focus on that breath in and out, that continuous calming breath. Feeling the airway open up with every breath. Feeling that air flowing easier and easier. Allow your face to soften, your shoulders to relax, hips to feel heavy, almost like you are floating wherever you are, crown of the head tall to the ceiling. Feeling that belly rise and fall. Calming us down with every breath. Thoughts are natural to come into our mind. Just try not to pay them too much attention and focus on the counts of the breath instead. Maybe you'll be able to focus on the space behind your eyes, opening up into more of a light environment. Keeping the eyes closed, but it almost creates this different perspective. For me, it helps me physically feel lighter and more grounded. Keep counting that breath, filling up the belly, back and sides of the ribs, all the way up to the collarbone. Feeling that air moving more efficiently than it did at the start. Allowing our body to realize the sense of calm that we have brought on. And taking a moment here to just wonder why we don't use this more in our daily lives. Take a moment to think about how you tend to breathe, comparing that breath in a stressful situation and just when you're breathing and you're not even thinking about it. Most times when we breathe throughout the day and in stressful situations, we just breathe through the top part of our chest, never allowing that belly to fully rise, fully inhale and expand. So you have the tools within your own body to create this calmness, this stillness. Reduce the cortisol levels, the actual tangible stress hormones in our body, just by breathing. Try to increase the count by one more now, creating a bit more resistance, allowing you to push through that barrier. Still using our breath, bringing some really slow movements back into our body, wiggling our toes, wiggling our fingers. Coming into a reclined butterfly if you're lying down, or a butterfly from seated. If you're in your chair, just take your feet out wider than your hips and knock your knees inwards. If you're lying, stay where you are. And if you're sitting down on your mat or on a block with your legs out in front in butterfly, start to hang your head. Allowing your head to feel really heavy, pulling that neck down. If you're seated and this feels comfortable, absolutely do so. You could even separate your feet so they're hips width apart and just hang that head in between the legs. Feeling what that does to the lower back. Feeling just how heavy your head is. Inhale slowly back up. Everyone into a supine twist, lying down, take your knees to one side. Seated, take the left hand over to the outside of the right thigh and start to spin around to the right, the left rib cage spinning round to the right. If you're on your chair, you can put your right hand behind you, gripping hold of the back of the chair. If you're on the floor, you can take that right hand behind you onto the floor. Inhale, create the space through drawing the crown of the head higher. And exhale, see if you can twist a little bit more using that left hand as a leverage. Finding space here with our breath. Even though we are twisting, you've got other areas of the body that you can breathe with. You can take the breath into the back and sides of the ribs and all the way up to the collarbone, exactly like we've been practicing. Exhale super slowly back to the front, all the way over to the other side. If you're lying, take those knees up through center and over to the other side into your twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Exhale, super slowly back round to the front. If you're lying down, come into a big morning stretch. People seated, hands up to the sky. Reach the fingers tall, keeping the eyes closed. As high as you can. If you're lying down, start to make your way up to seated. Once you get there, we're just going to take some really deep breaths in and big sighs. 3 rounds, breathe in. Hands to heart center, tuck the chin to the chest, thumbs to the third eye. Allow yourself to come slowly out of our pranayama practice today. And remember that this breath, this practice is with you at all times. Literally just breathing. When you're ready, take the hands away from the eyes and start to blink the eyes open.